Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. It's IGCSE Math Academy greeting you. Today's video, I'm going to do October-November 2025 book, paper 4-2, okay? Are you ready? This is a calculator paper. So let us start doing this paper, right? Good. Okay, these are the formulas, but I always advise students to get these formulas in your head. It's better, you know. It helps you to fully understand what you're doing, even when you are doing interpretation. But this page, you can just go there to double check your answers, okay? But if you have the formulas in your head, it's always easy and it helps you to interpret questions as fast as you can, okay? It saves your time. Good, first question. The ratio of 60 grams to 3 kilograms in the form of that. That's what they want us to write. They want us to write the ratio. Okay, good. Now, the first thing you have to notice here, they are not in the same units. That will be the first thing. So if they are not the same units and you're dealing with ratios, the first thing is to make sure they're in the same units. So that's why I have to convert this one, which are 3 kilograms to grams. So 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, in case you don't remember that, okay? Okay, 1 gram, 1,000 grams. So now what do I do? I divide by 60 both sides, So when you divide, you get 1 to 50, okay? I hope you have understood that. Second question is a simple algebra question where you need to solve and correct like term. So the first thing, bring this on this side, and that is the 8x equals to 27 plus 17, and 27 plus 17 gives you 44, and then when you divide by 8, that will give you that, and you have a calculator, you can just simply divide directly, or if it's a non-calculator, you just simplify, where you can write 11 over 2, or you write it as a mixed fraction, which would be 5 and 1 over 2, okay, depending on the context, but this is a calculator question. You just put 44 in your calculator, divide by 8, and then you get your final answer. Question 3. Question 3, they said write down the order of rotation symmetry of regular decagon. A decagon has how many sides, guys? A decagon has 10 sides. So if it has 10 sides, and they said it's a regular polygon, that means all the sides are equal and all interior angles are going to be equal. And that means if all the sides are equal, the lines of symmetry and order of rotation, they are going to be the same, and they are going to be 10. Okay. Question 4. Pedro makes cards. He makes cards at the rate of 9 cards every 20 minutes. So in 20 minutes, he makes 9 cards. So how long does he take? What does it take for him to make 1 card? That means it's 20 divided by 9. That's the time taken to make 1 card. So now work out the number of cards that he makes in 8 hours. You have to check here, these are minutes, so these are hours. You need to convert your hours to minutes. That's why I did 8 times 60, and that gives you 480 minutes, okay? I hope you understand that. Very good, fantastic. Now, after getting this value here, and we know how long it takes to make 1 card. So how many cards are you going to make 1 card? How long is it going to take to make, how many cards are going to be made in 480 minutes? Basically, you get the time for make 1 card times the total time, which is that, and then these are number of cards you're going to make. Okay, question 4. B, each card costs 12 cents to make. Okay, that's the cost of making 1 card. Pedro sells each card 50 cents. Okay, he's making a big profit by now. Work out his percentage profit in each card. Now, normally profit is given by something you need to know, guys. Profit will be given by selling price minus cost price. Okay, but the question here, they're saying work out the percentage profit. So to get percentage profit, you get profit over cost price times 100. But to get the profit, you have to do selling price minus cost price. What's the selling price? 50. What is the cost price? 12. So that's why you do 50 minus 12. Divide by the cost price times 100. and then you get that. Double check with your calculator if that's the answer, but the working is perfect and it's as easy as that. Okay, question 5. Noah is buying a phone. One website sells the phone for 953 yuan, yeah, the Chinese currency, okay? A different website sells the same phone for $141, and the exchange rate is given by that. Okay, then the question is, calculate the difference between these phone prices. Give your answer in dollars. Basically, we have to convert this one into dollars, but we have the exchange rate, right? So $1, I mean 1 yuan, is equivalent to this. Now, if this is that, so 953 will be equal to what? Question mark. So cross multiply. This time is that. Therefore, this is the cost of one phone in Chinese currency. Now, I mean dollars, sorry, when you convert the Chinese currency into dollars. So now, after getting this, they said find the difference. In dollars, it was this one, in one website. And when you convert together, what's the difference? Subtract the two. And whenever they say difference, you get the big number minus the smallest number, and that gives you that. This is this, and then this one is here, okay? To help you understand what I was doing. Okay, question 6, about to stem and leaf. Okay, statistics. From the question, they gave you the stem and leaf. The keys here is given where this is represented 10 minutes. Here, this is 0, 1, that's 1. And that means it took 1 minute, 4 minutes, and then these are 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 19 minutes, 21, 25, 25, and then 27. 27, I'll show you where I got it from. It's for 8, that's what they said here. Be careful with that. The times for two other patients is P and Q are not shown on the stem and leaf diagram. But what we know, the mean of 10 is 16 altogether. The one we have here, they are only 8, but they are supposed to be 10 in total. Okay, making sense, right? Very good. Then the range of waiting time is 26 minutes. The patient P waits longer than patient Q, okay? That's one thing, very important. P basically is bigger than Q. That's what they're saying. Find the waiting time for each of the patient P and Q. Okay, let us try to interpret the question and see what we can do here. Now, the range is 26. The range is the biggest number minus the smallest number. What's the smallest number from here? The smallest number is 1. The range is 26. So I substitute in my formula. 26 is equal to maximum number minus the smallest. Then when you correct like terms, I've got that. But they say if you read your question here, they say P waits longer. Basically, P is already going to be 27 because it's bigger than Q. Now, another information that was given here is mean. How do you calculate mean of anything? Mean you add all the terms and divide how many they are, number of terms. That's why here I did 27, which is this number, all of them. That is it. If you start from here, it will be 1 plus 4 plus 10 plus 20, 12 plus 19 plus 21 plus 25 plus 25, then plus 27 plus Q, which we don't know. Okay? Divide by how many number of terms? There are 10. So when you add all of these terms, they'll give you 144 plus Q over 10 equals to 16. When you cross multiply, you're going to get, that means here, I mean 144 plus Q is equal to 16 times the 10, okay? And when you, that's what gives you here. Then you correct like terms, then Q is going to be 16 and the P is 27. I hope you have understood. If you have any comment, any question, you can write it in the comment. I'll get back to you. Okay. Next question, question 7. The diagram shows a parallelogram. They gave you that. Okay. And the parallelogram have the same perimeter as a circle that has a radius of that. How do you get the perimeter of a circle or circumference is given by 2 pi r. Therefore, the perimeter of a circle is 8, and it has the same perimeter as the parallelogram. Okay, if that's the case, I have to get that. So the perimeter of a parallelogram will be just this plus that plus 6.151, sorry, and then plus x. So perimeter, you move around the shape, adding. So that's why I simplified it by using algebra. I said 8 pi is equal to 2 bracket x plus c, 6.51. And then when, to make my life easier, instead of opening bracket, I divide both sides by 2, by 2, by 2. Then you get 4 pi here, equals to that. Correct like terms, then you bring this on this side, and then gives you that. That's the value of x. Question B. Question B, again, it's a parallelogram, but the arc is given, and the cost, it costs 18 per square meter to tile the floor. Okay. Now, calculate the total cost of tiling the floor. Okay, very good. How much will it cost? So if we are to do that, we need to find the area of this shape. Now, the area of a parallelogram, there are two. One is the base times the height, if the height is given. If this height was given. So we don't have the height. So another formula, it is 1 over 2 AB sine C. Do you get that? So because I didn't have the height, I decided to go with that. So that gives me the area. But the area, I mean, the cost of one, this is the meter squared, okay? So 1 meter squared, the cost of it is 18. Okay, so how much you now to make that? It's going to be 31.92 equals to how much? It will be equal to 18 times that, and that's what you see I have here, and that's the answer. I hope you understand that. Very good. Question 8 is about transformation of shapes. So let us do the question. The question says, on the diagram, draw the image of shape A after translation of this. Where is shape A? Shape A is here, and then you are translating it at T1 with a vector 1, -7. What does that mean? You have to move shape A 1 unit to the right, and then you move down 7 steps because the vector is 1, -7. Meaning I'm moving 1 unit in the positive direction, and then I move down 7 steps. So I'm going to do 1, then you can follow the same steps. Let me go this one, okay? How many steps I move? 1. Then I move how many steps down? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see the point? That's why I have this point here. I can do this one if you want as well. 1. Then I move down how many steps? Because I have to move positive 1 direction. So because it's 1, that's why here in the positive direction, positive x direction, I'm moving 1. 1. Then down I move 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why I'm here. So you do the same thing for other corners or vertices here and here, and then that's why you're going to get your shape here. Shape A, after reflection in the line y equals zx. We are reflecting shape A on the line that. What do? You draw the line, you see? And then you move perpendicular like that, you see? You move like that, and then you count. That gives you this one. Describe Fourier single transformation that maps shape A into shape B. Shape A into B, A into B. So if you can see, we are moving this. You see, it moved like that. Did you see that? Because you had your shape here, and this part is here. I'm just taking one example. So it moved in 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Okay, rotation 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And then you use your tracing paper to find the center of rotation. So when me I did it, I got that one. So it's rotation 90 degrees anti-clockwise, center that. Question 9. It's about speed time graphs. And then the question says, calculate total distance. What I did, I decided to divide it in two shapes. Trapezium, this is that. This is a trapezium here. And then this one. So how do we get area of a trapezium, guys? Area of a trapezium is a half A plus B, then height. Where A and B are parallel sides. Basically, A is this and B is that. So that's why you see here, I have 80 and I have 60. What about the height now? The height will be that. But you need to be careful. Check the speed. It's kilometer per hour. But the time given is in minutes. So you have to convert your 15 minutes into hours. That's why here I did 15 over 60. When you put that in your calculator, you're going to have this as your distance. The next one is a triangle, which is going to be the height of your triangle, which is 80, then times the base, which is 25 minus 15, which gives you 10. And then you do 1 over 2 times the height, which is 10 but divided by 6 to convert in hours. And then when you multiply, you get that. So the total distance in a kilometer is that one. Okay? I hope you have understood that. Question 10. The nth term of the sequence is given by that. So whenever you're dealing with sequences, this is what I always advise my students, okay? Now, first check, is it, do they have common difference? First common difference. So when you check here, okay, they have the common difference. So if that's the common difference, that's why I have minus 8n. Now you get 17 minus 8, that gives you 25. For those who are doing additional math, you can just even use it, u1 plus c n minus 1d, okay? Because I think you know the formula. But if you're not doing additional math, that's a shortcut. You just get the difference, you write minus 8n, and then you get the first term minus the difference. So when you do 17 minus 8, that's how I have 25. And that is your n term. Second question. Now, as I've said in question A, for question 10A, now, then after, when you do the first difference is not the same. Now, are the sequence square numbers? No. Are they cube numbers? No. Do they have the common ratio? No. So find the second difference. Now, when you find the second difference, you're going to have 6, 6, 6. So if the second difference is the same, it means it's going to be quadratically sequenced. If the second difference is 2, it means you're going to use n squared. If the difference is 4, the same difference, second difference, if it's 4, it's going to be 2n squared. If the second difference is 6, it's going to be 3n squared. N squared means square number. If it is 8, sorry, it's going to be 4n squared. I hope you see the pattern. What if it's 10? It's going to be 5n squared. Okay, you go on, the pattern goes. Now, my question is, what if the second difference is 9? Oh, 7. Second difference is the same as 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. What do? That's your homework. See in the comments, guys. Okay, so if that's the case now, after knowing that the second difference is 6 and it's 3n squared, that means I'll get my square numbers, which are 1, 4, square numbers, guys, 9, which you're supposed to know, guys. It's very important to know square numbers and cube numbers in your head. 25, 36, and the etc. You continue like that. So now you get 3 times square numbers. That's why this one is this one. Then you get your this one minus 3n squared, which are square numbers times 3. So when I subtract, I get 0. So that means the n term is 3n squared. I hope you have understood that. Question 11 is just calculator question. You just put your stuff in the calculator, and then we'll see what happens. Y equals 2x power 3 minus 2x x cubed minus 2x plus 3. You just put this in your calculator. The answer will be that and that one. This is a cube function or a polynomial, so that therefore you just sketch. So when you draw, you're going to have a graph like that. It has to be more accurate. Now I just try to do it with my free hand, but when you're joining your points, use your free hand. Don't use a ruler. Okay? That's what you're going to get. Okay, let me try to reduce the size here. Then they said by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, solve this. Now, when you check, this is not exactly what you plotted. It's different. The one we had, this is the one we plotted. That's the graph we had. X, it is it was y equals 2x power 3 minus 2x plus 3. Now, when you compare this with this, they are not the same. But we are going to use the graph. So what do? Just get the new graph minus this. So that's what I did here. And what I have here, there is y, because that's what they added on y. So you take it to the other side. This is your equation. And then you draw the graph. You can make it. There are different ways you can draw the graph of that. You can use the table like 0, it will be 2. And then you use maybe you check on the graph. We have 0, 1, 2. So you can even put there 2. And then we put there 2. You substitute in the equation here. That's 1, it will be 3. And then you draw your graph. That is what you're going to have here. Okay? Then after drawing the graph, the line you have drawn, which is 0. Was it negative? No, positive. Yeah, it's positive because the line is increasing from left to right. 5x plus 2. That's my graph. So it's meeting the graph at this point. So you need to read these values. And also here. Me, I'm not very accurate. You be very accurate on the paper and use a ruler and you have that. Okay. These are the values. So this will give you the first value of x. This will give you the second value of x. And then this one will give you the third value of x. Are we together, guys? I hope you have understood that. So if that's the case now, that's why you see my x value is first value of x, second value of x, and third value of x. Okay? I hope you have understood that. Question 12. Question 12 is about to tackle theorems. And they gave you this and they're asking you that. So this one is going to be 52 times 2. What's the reason? The reason is n angle subtended by the angles subtended by the same arc. Let me read what I've written here, but the simple way to say it, the angle in the center is first the angle at the circumference as long as they are from the same arc. This is that's the arc that they have. So the angle here is twice that. So if I have this, I have to multiply by 2 to get this one. That's why the answer here is the 104. So the angle in the center is twice the angle at the circumference of your circle, as long as they are from the same arc, okay, or the same chord. But the arc is the best one. Now, the next question, what did they say? Find the value of y. Where is y? Where is y? Oh, y is here. Okay. There are very many ways to do the question. I can just simply say angles in the opposite alternate are equal. So meaning this one is going to be the same as that. So which will give you this, and then when you subtract together. But also there's another way. You can just try to the angle between a tangent and the radius are equal. It can give you this point. And then you consider all the angles in a triangle and they add up to 180, and that gives you the same answer. Okay? Very good. Question 13. This is a simple algebra. Just find the LCM of this and that will be 8m. And then 8m divided by 2m gives you 4. 4 times 7 gives you 28. 8m divided by 8m is 1. And 1 times 3 gives you that. So when you add, that's the final answer. So this is 31 over 80m. Okay? I hope you have understood that. Okay? Are we together, guys? Very good. Question 14. Carlos invests this at an interest rate of that, compound interest. Okay, as soon as you hear compound interest, you're supposed to be knowing this formula. Compounding, the amount in compound interest is given by this one, 1 plus R of 100 power n. You're supposed to be knowing that. Okay, now, calculate the value of investment at the end of 4 years. The P is that, interest rate is that, the number of years is that, substitute, and then this is going to be your answer. Carlos buys a painting that costs this. He sells the painting at this. He makes a percentage profit of that. How much did he? There are different ways. When I'm doing past papers, sometimes I like enjoying different ways. One way of doing the question is just using the multiplier. You made a profit. That means initially you had 100%, right? And you have made a profit of 34%, which gives you 134%. So my multiplier is 1.34. That's why I got this one. Now, the cost price is always the new price over the multiplier. So that's why you see I got the selling price over multiplier, and that gives you cost price. Then what's the profit? Get the selling price minus the cost price, and then gives you that. But you can do this one also using proportions, but right now let me not use that one. You can use proportion. It's very simple. You just simply say 134 is equal to 0487, right? Therefore, 34 will be equal to what? Basically, you get this times 34 divided by 134, then also give you profit as that directly. Okay. Question B. Carlos also buys a car with a value of 32,500. The value of the car decreases exponentially. Very good. By 23 each year. Find the formula for that one. Again, you have to use the formula you wrote here. Amount equals to P, which is the investment or the initial value of something. But here it's decreasing. So instead of having 1 plus, I will do minus the compound interest formula of 100 power n. All together, guys, I hope you understand that. So when you substitute there, now you simplify that, and that will be the general formula, okay? You work out this in your calculator. When you work out that, gives you that, okay? And that's the formula. Question 15. The diagram shows a field ABCD in the shape of a quadrilateral. BD is a straight path across the field. Calculate BC. Calculate BC. That's cosine rule, and cosine rule is A squared is equal to B squared plus A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos angle A. So if I'm looking for this one, I'm looking for BC, therefore D squared is equal to D squared is equal to A, this side. You see that? That one is C squared plus B squared minus 2 times of BC cos angle D. Okay, so when you apply your formula and you work out this, you find the square root of that. So the answer is going to be that. Then they said find angle DBC. They're asking that. That's easy. Sine rule. So that's sine B over that, which is this one. And I'm looking for this angle equals to sine 140, which is given over the side that is opposite to that, the one I've just calculated here. Because I got this side as 392. Are we together? Very good. So cross multiply. So then you do cosine, sine inverse of that, and that is the angle which is supposed to be degrees here. Okay. Then they say the total area of the field ABCD is given by that. Basically the area of this triangle, we call it area 1, or no, area 2, and then this is area 1 because I already wrote it there. First triangle, second triangle. Okay, the total of the two, that area is that. Work out the length of the shortest distance from D to AB. From D, that's the height. Okay. Oh, my drawing is not accurate. Let me try to make it very better. Okay. This is the one we are looking for. They said shortest distance. Now, what you need to know in the exam, especially for IGCSE, whenever they say shortest distance, you draw the line from D to A, but you have to know it will make 90 degrees. Okay? Now, how do we do the question? Let us hurry up and see. Now, I will start by finding the area of triangle 1, which is I'm going to use the formula, area of a triangle that's not a right angle triangle. Let me write here. It's a half AB sine C. That is the one I applied here. So to get the area of this, the area of this one. So I have to use this side and this side. So therefore I have to use the angle between the two. Do you understand? Because if I'm using this side and I'm using that, I have to use the angle between the two. Okay? Because I can't be using this angle and I use this side. So that's what I did here. It's one area of that is 1/2, 300 times that equals to this one. Now, I've got the area of the first triangle. Now, to get the height of this, I should be having the area of that. So, but I know the total area. So I have to get the total area minus area 1, which is the area of this triangle. Do you understand that? That's why you see I subtracted. So the total area minus the area of the first triangle, which I call the area 1. So the area remaining is the area of this triangle. Do you get that? That's the one I'm calling area 2. Now, how do you get area of a triangle when you have the height? Is the half base times the height. I have base times the height. That's why I got this area, which is here, 1/2 times 180 times the height. So when you cross multiply and then divide by that, that gives you the height. Wow, very good question with 4 marks. I like teaching. Teaching is my passion, guys. Okay. Question 16. This is a histogram. One thing you need to know whenever you see histogram, you need to know that whenever you have to do a histogram, you have to use frequency density, and frequency density is given by frequency of a class width. This is the formula which you need to know. Oh, of course, I even wrote it here. Okay, show that the first question, you have your scale here, check everything. Then they say show that that there are 10 coconuts in category D. Where is D, guys? D is here. What's the class width? I have to read the scale. When I read the scale, I found here as 1.35. Now, the class width will be 16 minus this. Okay? Now, that's why you see here. And what is the frequency density? Frequency density, when you work it out, is going to be 40. That's why you see I did 40. That's the frequency density. You can just read this value, you see, from here. Go straight, don't be like me. So this is 40 here. Do you see that? That's why I have 40 here. So frequency density is equal to the frequency over class width. So the class width is this minus that. So when you subtract them, you get 0.25. Then frequency density at D will be equal to 40 times by doing cross multiplication. Here's shown, okay? 2 of the coconuts from those in the category C and category D are chosen at random. Find the probability that both are from category D. Okay, very good. It's about probability. We know the frequency for D, but we don't know the frequency for C. So we need to use the same formula. Frequency this is equal to frequency over class width. So we say 170 is equal to F over that. This is the class width for C. You check, I put them there. You can read the value. So when you subtract them, you're going to have that, and that's the frequency. Now the question is asking you probability for picking from category C and category D. Now, what's the total of the frequency for category C and D? Frequency is 17. For D is 10. So the total of the two is 27. So what's the probability now? Find the probability that both are from category D. So that means D, they are 10. So my chances of picking anything will be 10 out of 27. Because total of C and D. One is already out. So I will get 9 out of 26. Because you picked one already and you are 27. So you remain with 26. D, they were 10. One is there or out, is out already. Then I'm going to remain with Z, 9. So when you work out, you are going to have that. Question C. Wow, very good question. Calculate the estimate mean. Don't go to any IGCSE exam, either paper 2 or paper 4, when you don't know how to calculate estimate mean. Now, if I'm to find estimate mean, I need to find the frequency of each. Here I had it was 17. I calculate this was 10. So I need to calculate one of here and one of here. So that's when you check, that's the one I calculated first. The frequency for category A. So that is the one I had. This for category A. For category B, I'm going to have that. So how do we find the estimate mean? Estimate mean, you use midpoint. So here, the midpoint will be this plus that divided by 2. That's why I did. Times the frequency for that. So that's what I'm going to have. You do the same thing for category B, and you do the same thing for category C, and then D. When you work out to that, your final answer has to be that. Let me repeat. Estimate mean is the frequency times the midpoint. The midpoint is the upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. And that's what you're going to get when you do your question. Thank you, guys. Let us continue. Question 17. It's just about expanding. Very easy. You just do this times that. This times that. This times this. And then you also do this. When you expand those ones, you're going to have that. So, and then you still have that. So when you correct like terms, because 3x minus 4x gives you minus x, and then also you expand. When you expand, then you get that one. So when you correct like terms and simplify, that is your answer. Very good. Question 17. You have a parallelogram where this is A and this is B, and then OA and CB, they're in the ratio of that. OA is A, OB is that. Find the AB. AB, AB. You are looking for that. So I will just basically go like that. You see that? So basically AB is equal to AO plus OB. OA, I change the direction, it will be negative A plus B. That's why you see my answer here is this one, which you can write as A minus B, or you write B minus A. Both of them are okay, and you have the same answer. M is the midpoint. Midpoint of OC. This is the midpoint. Give your answer. Find AM. We can go like that, or you go like that. So me, I chose the shortest to save time. Okay. OC because OC, I can't find the mid. I can't find here without having OC. So OC is going to be OB plus BC. But I don't have BC, but it gave me the ratios. Did you see here, guys? OA is 4 in terms of ratios. There are 4, but the A is equal to 4. Do you see that? Therefore, from the ratios, CB is that. Meaning now, the value for this is going to be 3A over 4. Have you understood that? A is equivalent to 4. And the ratio for CB is 3 to 4 over there. So that's what gave me here. Now, if now, let me remove this so that you don't get confused a bit. Okay, reduce the confusion here. So to get OC, it will be this plus that. So that's why you see I did this one minus that. So now, AM, this one. So it's minus A plus that, which is the half of that. So AM is the AO plus a half of OC. And the AO is negative A. OC is the, remember for me, I was looking for AM, guys. That's why I had to do a half of that. So you correct your like terms here. When you open the bracket, then you put this one and this one together, and you find LCM, then gives you this, and that is your final answer. Okay? I hope you have understood that. If you have any question, write in the comments, then I'll get back to you. Okay? IGCSE Math loves mathematics. Question 19, solve the simultaneous question, one of the common things in the exam. From here, this is y and this is y, so you have to equate the two, and when you correct like terms, you're going to have 3x squared minus 5x minus 6. Just correct like terms. Now, when you reach here, you have a quadratic equation, so which you can't factorize. So the easier way here, go with quadratic formula, the one I wrote here. You can solve this one by using quadratic formula or using completing the square method. Okay, but because the coefficient here is not 1, it's better to go with the quadratic formula. So when you substitute that in the equation, you're going to have x1 as that, and then you have x2 as that, and then after getting x1, substitute in this one. When you substitute there, that means y1 will be equal to 5 minus 2 bracket negative 1 point, yes, 2, 5, and then when you work out, you're going to have this one. You do the same thing for the second equation, and also we give you the second value of y as this. Question 20, we are almost there, guys, okay? A solid metal prism has a mass of 4,810 grams. Correct to the nearest 10. So nearest 10 means I have to do 10 divided by 2, and that's I'm going to have 5, and that's why you see I have that one here. So upper bound of my mass is that, and the lower bound of that. Then they say the depth of the metal is given by that. Correct 1 decimal place. 1 no decimal place means 1 decimal place means 0.1 divided by 2, which will give you 0.05. That's why you see here I did 7.7 plus or minus 0.05, and upper bound is that, and lower bound is that one. Okay. Now, how do we calculate the density, guys? Density is mass over volume. But here we are looking for volume, guys. So volume is going to, by the way, I can give you this. Those who do physics, I hope you know that. But even if you don't know, you can get it from IGCSE Math. Density is mass over volume. So basically mass is going to be density times volume. Then volume is going to be mass over volume. Okay, very good. So after knowing that I'm going to divide, calculate the lower bound. They said I'm finding the lower bound and I'm dividing. So if you are dividing and you're finding the lower bound, your numerator should be lower bound, but your denominator should be upper bound. That's why you check here. I picked the lower bound. But for this one, I picked upper bound because I'm looking for lower bound volume. Okay, I hope you have understood. Let me repeat one more time. If you are looking for lower bound and you are dividing, your numerator should be lower bound, but your denominator should be upper bound. When you put that one in your calculator, that's going to be your final answer. Very good. Question 21. By the way, you can pause the video and try the question, and then you check if you have got it, okay? Good. The question is, y is inversely proportional to that, okay? And W is the direct proportion. Okay, W is directly proportion. So let me start with W. W, using proportion formula, W is the proportion to X. And they gave you the W value and X value. So when you substitute in the formula, K is going to be that, W is going to be equal to that. But because of what they're asking me, I decided to make X the subject. Okay, you see the reason why. Then again, they said y is inversely proportional to this. So 8 equals to, I'm using this. Is it that? Y is that equal to K over that. Then K will be equal to that. When you work out in the calculator, you're going to have that value. Okay. Now, y equals to, I'm substituting in this. And after getting the value of K, y is equal to 242 over X plus 2 squared. But the question said, find y in terms of W. Oh, okay, not in terms of X. Now I need to remember X is 6W. So in place of X, I have to put there the value of W, which is this. So that is my final answer. I hope we have understood that. Okay, very good question with 4 marks. Okay, I hope you have understood, guys. EK Math loves mathematics. Like, share, and comment. Okay, thank you very much. EK Math loves mathematics.